So I'm still kind of leaning towards the Sand King here. You do need an arrow setup. You do have Enchant, which is pretty good. But it's not a bad lane. They've already removed the Anti-Mage, which is one of your big counters. It is a good form of initiation. Lots of Magic Burst. Yeah, there it
There
is.
you go. Ricky, you're just too good.
It's a no-brainer, man. It's the best pick.
Yep.
They've set it up perfectly. I think Infamous knew that this is coming, so they have to prepare for it. The question is, what heroes are left in your repertoire for the safe lane that you can actually pick into the Sand King, right? You could go Luna, maybe, because it gives you a little bit more space against it, and it does pair well with the Vengeful Spirit still, but not a hero we've seen in the game very often.
Yeah, Luna would be an interesting one. They'd have a lot of auras on their side, which would be kind of cool. They could pick up a Medusa this game, but I feel like that it gets destroyed by Spectre if he ends up going that Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, I think you just go Blade Mail Diffusal, right? You just run at him.
Mm-hmm.
Or Blade Mail Manta Diffusal. It'll take you a little bit to get there, but it's still so good against that hero eventually.
Yep. Now, what? I'm just thinking about what Team Brazil should close out the draft with here. I think they need one more frontliner for themselves. And Infamous are starting to think about that one. They do have the last pick on Brazil. Like when I look at their draft, I immediately think a hero that's already been banned out, Kunkka.
Yeah, that was a. There's no way that hero gets through. Oh, Void Spirit. Okay. So again, this is a Michael special that he likes to play on the 4, and it's something KXY plays in the mid. So Infamous not revealing any of their lanes still. I would lean more towards this being the mid laner, because I think as a core position right now, this Void Spirit looks pretty good with their team. And they ban out the Queen of Pain. Okay, so definitely looking more and more like a mid lane.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting one. The Void Spirit up in the mid, you kind of have to hold your Dissimulate in order to deal with the daggers coming at you. Like every time you throw out a dagger, you want to be able to use the Dissimulate to dodge it. That's usually how that matchup's played. But they'll probably, if they're banning out the Queen of Pain, it makes sense that they don't want to have to fall back and deal with that because, once you're, I think dagger's like level 3, you can just spam it on him and it becomes pretty easy.
Yeah.
PA ban comes out, which is interesting.
It's good against Spectre, right? It's one of the few heroes left that's pretty good against Spectre. Sand King also doesn't really push her too far out of the lane because she just dagger farms.
Mm-hmm.
But if you catch her with the Burrow Strike arrow, she dies. So it's kind of like you have to be very careful in that lane as PA, but you can just try and dagger farm.
Yep. TA banned out last hit. That's decent against the Void Spirit as well. When he's trying to go in for those last hits, it become pretty easy to line up those side blades on him. And A combos pretty well with what they have going on. It's a very fast paced mid lane hero.
Wow, the Alk ban, huh?
Yeah.
Actually would be a pretty decent Alk game.
I think pretty easy to zone him out of the lane though. He'd just have the acid spray to fall back on.
Yeah.
Vengeful Spirit supporting him.
You just try and get early like level 3-4 and then you just jungle, and they don't have they really only have the Enchantress to invade jungle, which doesn't really do a whole lot. Like Mirana needs to be like ganking these other lanes.
Infamous, I think they want to close this draft out with God. Yeah, I think you get like an Underlord or no, you have the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, you need a safe lane. You need a real carry here to play against the Spectre. Like I said, like Luna is one that's like not fantastic, but is kind of decent. Spectre does kind of chew through that hero, I think, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Eclipse can be pretty good this game.
Phantom Lancer?
Oh man.
I take the Juggernaut.
That's just the safest. Yeah, it looks like.
It's okay. I'm not crazy about this here. I think you have a decent early game right now. If you can, just keep running at Team Brazil, you'll do an okay job. Dragonite makes that one difficult, though. You're not going to be able to gank him. It's hard to run down this hero in the mid lane. I haven't seen Dragonite in a little while, in fact, but it makes sense that they grabbed that, considering the Kunkka fills a lot of the same purpose that the Dragonite does, as far as that tanky frontliner just kind of sits in the mid lane and sets up kills for his team.
Yeah, you were absolutely correct. Those right up the alley of what you were talking about, where they just kind of need that tanky mid laner. And Sand King's not the tank, right? He's definitely the like reinitiator. You definitely want Dragonite here just to soak up as much damage as possible. And he's good against Void Spirit. He's really good against Void Spirit in the mid lane. You can't push the Dragonite out. You have Breathe Fire, which gives you a ton of damage reduction, allows you to last it pretty easily. I like it. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, the number one thing about Dragon Knight is the moment that the enemies tried to leave mid and go to gank a lane, especially here's like Void Spirit. You just pop that Elder Dragon form, you push down the tower with your Corrosive Breath. So it becomes very easy to punish enemy rotations. It's been a lot less popular in 7.27, but in 2.6, Dragon Knight was played quite a bit.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how it goes. First game here between Infamous and Team Brazil. I'm leaning more towards Team Brazil's lineup just because I love the synergy they have with the Mirana, and it's one of those heroes where if you have good synergy, it is hard to deal with. And Juggernaut, yes, he has no counter to the spin TP, but all of these other heroes like KXY, Michael, Excel, each of them, if they get stunned up into an arrow, there's no save.
Yeah. I mean, there's the what say. They got the Vengeful Spirit that's able to swap them out.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be good. It's a interesting game. Both these teams pretty evenly matched, as we pointed out earlier.
I have, I was talking to Team Brazil's coach right now. I was asking him. He always had some spicy comments to drop. Mike Megs. He said, I said, what do you got for me this game, Megs? I like hearing your bants at the start of the game. You got anything to say to Infamous before the match? He said, let me put it this way. I'm playing in a Reddit tournament right now, and it might have more competition than this match. Let's see if Infamous has anything to say in response to that after this game.
Wow,
that's Team Brazil's coach.
That is some disrespect to the maximum degree. They do smoke up 4 in the mid lane right away on Infamous. They could drop that quick ward and then move into the triangle maybe. Or they can invade the dire jungle. So we'll see which one they decide to do here. They do have, I mean, Blade Fury Juggernaut is pretty good at dealing with Sand King, but it's the same thing where if you get Burrow Strike arrowed, Juggernaut's not that survivable, so he's going to have to pick up some early points in the healing ward. Let's see how they do.
Actually, just talking to the coach of Team Brazil, I'm going to see if we can get Flea for a post-game interview after game number 2 today.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they get O2'd, then that'd be a very unfortunate interview.
Yeah. Here's how this is going to go. Actually, he told me that I can ask, and I'm just going to ask Megs to, double down on him if he says no to me. The coach says you got to go do it. Sorry, man.
Sorry, but, coach says you got to do it.
Yeah. We'll see. He reconnects to the game right now.
These are out. All right, back into the game. Follow the smoke here, see what ends up happening.
Ooh, already declaring victory on Team Brazil.
Oh. Sand King's set is really weird. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Let's
right, look at Dragon Knight positioned perfectly. He's like, all right, yeah, you guys want to smoke in here? Guess what? I'll throw my body to reveal it. There's the gush that can follow up that magic missile as well. Great free fire, cleaving all 4. The arrow onto the Tidehunter LSA only connects onto the DK. It's a 4v4. He pops the fairy fire. He's able to keep running. There's the enchant and the body blocks. They end up finding him eventually with that gush, and now they get a second kill onto the Mirana. But Pita just running for his life. Goes to be there. One more auto attack. We'll find him a 2-man LSA. They're following it up. They have a magic missile in 4. A lot of damage to start out this game, but Bambi a little bit quick. There's the magic missile, LSA, not gonna be able to come in range. KXY, one more auto attack and a resonant pulse would be enough. Looks like she might be just a little bit too fast and has 2 fairy fires in the backpack there. They're gonna back off. Ooh, Excel's gonna actually walk right into him. Enchantress might be in a little bit of trouble here, but
no, with 2 mangoes to fall back on, or sorry, 2 fairy fires to fall back on, I think Enchantress is going to be just fine. KXY is going to have to leave now, head back to the mid lane. He can't waste any more time. If he had an 8th Remnant, might have been a different story.
He's baiting this out for a long time because Costa Bile is here now, and that's the enchant You even have the dagger. I don't know if you commit the dagger. You just want to put a decent chunk of damage onto him. Well played. And top lane Spectre, just getting caught by that LSA Gush. I mean, this is what I was talking about. This lane's really strong. The Gush setup into LSA, the right clicks follow in from Lina. A lot of damage. So far, a fantastic start for Infamous to this game. How much money does Tidehunter have right now? 300 gold, 340 gold. Do you have your stuff being delivered? Nah, okay.
Oh, mid lane, it's going to be, you know, I think KXY is going to have the advantage at the start of this lane, but, you know, Dragon Knight's actually out CSing him at the moment. It's just because lack of creeps in the lane, but yeah, he definitely has an advantage on KXY, especially at the early levels. Just the extra base damage, you know, you have Resonant Pulse, you have Born Mana to fall back on to spam on your skills. But as it goes forward, again, you're not going to be able to zone out Dragon Knight like you would a lot of other heroes. It's going to exist inside the lane. It's just something you have to deal with. And the moment you go and you rotate elsewhere to set up a kill, Dragon Knight is going to be shoving out the tower with that Elder Dragon form. The Corrosive Breath doing huge amounts of damage on towers.
Yeah. The other thing to consider too is Void Spirit's usually really good at reducing physical damage. Dragon Knight's, most of his harassment damage is going to come from his multiple points of Breathe Fire. Bottom lane, Sand King actually goes down to a Blade Fury Magic Missile. That, I don't think should happen. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be worried about that burst damage, but I feel like it's very obvious the amount of damage that can come out from that. So, King RD not having a great start in this lane. Flea's probably looking at him like, what are you doing, man?
He might have used Burrow Strike, and so they just knew they could go on him, because typically you just save Burrow Strike for the Blade Fury, and you just go away. Right? That's why you go the second point into Burrow Strike as opposed to going for, you know, Caustic Finale, I guess if you go Sandstorm. Just because you want to make sure that you have the range to get away from this Juggernaut early on. Okay. Okay. Well, Jerry is really dropping the ball here in the mid lane stage here, but it's fine. He's gonna come back stronger than ever. Every once in a while, he misses some kills, but that's the thing Jerry does. You know, that's kind of that's his gimmick, I guess.
He's endearing.
Yeah.
With his shout out to our endearing observer, Jerry.
Yeah. Bottom lane, they got him once again. Magic Missile. There's going to be the Burrow Strike coming through to try and give him some space, but Pockets just goes for a first item Brown Boots. He's going to chase down King RD. Nice arrow there from Flea to stop this aggression.
Oh my god, that was a beautiful arrow saving him there. You know, Flea just recovering the lane for King RD. Exactly what you'd expect. You know, a gamer of his caliber.
Yeah, he ended up going for a magic wand first on the Sand King. I feel like that's a lot of wasted money.
Yeah, I talk about this quite a bit. I mean, if you have free inventory slots, you don't really need to complete this magic wand, and you're not gonna. Oh, okay. Flea, he manages to find Excel. The man, the myth, the legend. Flea, he's playing out of his mind.
Okay. You know, we're looking top where there's like some engagements actually happening, and then Flea just solo kills the Excel on the bench. Wow, and he just takes a big creep too. Dude, Flea's almost level 4 at 4 minutes on this on this Mirana. Top lane, Dragon Knight's gonna find a haste rune. Very happy about that because he denies it to KXY. You don't need a bottle, right, on Dragon Knight. It's one of those things that makes it really nice.
You can get a bottle, but you don't necessarily have to have it because you're not going to really use it for that HP regen. You'd much rather have a soul ring or something like that to sustain yourself, having to fall back on Dragon's Blood. He only has 1 point in it, though. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, 3 points Breathe Fire. That's literally how you just farm and zone Void Spirit out, right? Like, look at the damage reduction that comes out. 25% plus that spam. That's 240 magic damage.
Yep. I actually learned the other day that it is not just base damage reduction on Breathe Fire. It is total damage reduction. So it ends up reducing things like refraction damage as well.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Does it reduce the damage on Resonant Pulse and stuff like that too, if it's on you? Is it just attacks?
It just attacks.
Okay.
It's not spells.
Yeah, they're attack steal. Okay. He's gonna grab a Kobold Foreman and run it to the mid lane. All right, that's pretty funny.
Top lane. Ghost of Bile is taking a bit of damage, but I think he's going to be able to get out of this one.
LSA's in one. He's caught him. Do they have a gush? They do. This might be a kill. He has a Dragon Slave to try and finish it off. Will he get the anchor smash? Not in time. He ends up... He could have hit that if he had the vision. He just didn't see him for a moment in the tree there.
Michael also body blocked him a little bit as he was going forward there in the mid lane. Dragon Knight actually
Dragon Knight. Oh yeah, they commit all the astral steps plus the rotation there from the Vengeful Spirit. You pointed out only 1 point in Dragon's Blood. That bonus armor doesn't have those extra points and takes a lot of damage from that Vengeful Spirit.
At the bounty rune, Flea tried to contest KXY's rune, but you know, he has no mana for astral step, so he isn't going to be able to get this from Flea.
It's a regen bottom. He just throws an arrow into a creep wave just to farm up a big centaur. Pretty happy about that. Mid lane, because he has no arrow, he's like getting pinged by Dragon. He's like, dude, this was a kill, man. What are you doing?
Oh no, now everybody's laughing at him. They're paused up right now. That is pretty unfortunate.
He just like sees a regener. He's like, oh, I better use this arrow. And DK meanwhile stunning the Vengeful Spirit. And he's just like, okay. That's cool.
Check out me min-maxing this regen play, you guys. A classic Flea.
Classic Flea. That's pretty funny. They're going to TP the Lina in to refill KXY's bottle. Well played. Nicely done. Ooh, Flea, he might soul the Vengeful Spirit here. Once again, he's trying to get vision on the high ground there. Does end up finally finding it. Does have Star Storm, but in comes KXY, Remnant, plus a Haunt as well, actually. Flea just spamming these leaps mid-air, pause, and this one comes out from Spectre.
Yeah, can we get a zoom in? Oh, yeah. Let's go cinematic mode onto the Mirana right now. You can see the Zeds over the heads of the creeps right now.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful. You'll love to see it.
Will she survive? She pops that stick, trying to run away, but LSA just off the mark has another leap. Flea up onto the high ground. KXY knows that's where he's going, but he's buying so much time, and he survives. Wow.
I mean, on one hand, yeah, that was great. On the other hand, he kind of messed up a couple of times there. He'd also, I think he realized that he was going for that observer ward up at the top lane, or sorry, up on this hill, and he wanted to deny it, but he was a little bit late on his reaction.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
Whoa there, buddy. Jesus. I mean, this game, I believe, is being played on the Peru servers, if I'm not mistaken. The Brazil servers are going to be selected for game number 2, but Flea, being in North America, is having some ping issues and some lag issues, it would appear. He is in North America, right? He's not playing from South America? Neph, you there? Did I lose you?
Yeah, just muted myself to hit some console commands real quick. Yes, he is playing from North America. His wife is actually in the chat right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
From NA.
Yeah.
He's looking like a real cool guy as well in this game.
King RD might be in some trouble bottom. They have no detection on Pakas. Unfortunate for him. King RD staying inside. He will burrow strike, but there's going to be the magic missile, the dust rotation. Well played from Excel. They're finding that extra kill. Arrow? Oh, did you see that thing?
No, I missed that one.
It split right between Juggernaut and Venge, ended at their feet. It was so close. I mean, it wasn't really like going to result in a kill or anything, but it was pretty funny.
Threading the needle there.
Wait, Flea? Just doing so much damage to Pockets. That level 2 arrow is a lot of damage.
Yeah. Actually took the creep there from Pockets as well.
Mid lane, Dragon Knight level 7, just stunning up that Void Spirit, doing a lot of harassment damage. He's also just trying to burn down this tower, but they didn't fort it. They do also have the Satyr Tormentor there, so DK just sitting casually at 20.5 HP regen per second. Not a big deal.
You need to get these clicks in on the tower if you're popping Elder Dragon.
They're going to go in. They do have Ravage as well with this rotation, but Remnant does miss. Ida is here. Do they commit the Ravage and LSA as well? They may not even need it. KXY chasing after him. The Ravage finally comes out as the arrow does connect onto the Void Spirit Flea. trying to offer some assistance, but now they're going to chase after the Enchantress. They have more than enough damage. Remnant on the mark, the Dissimulate to finish him off, and now Flea, the lone survivor here for his team, does have a leap to get up onto the high ground, will be able to do that. 3 points in the arrow at this point.
Throws out nice another one. I don't think this will connect. Oh, hits the
casual tank there from the range creep. Nicely done.
Yeah. Get down, Mr. President. Thank you, range creep, for your service. This is
go ahead.
I was gonna say this is like one of the bad parts of going this build on Dragonite. I mean, yes, he managed to zone the Void Spirit from the lane, but you know, the lack of HP regen, the lack of armor is what has allowed him to get killed a couple of times. Oh my god, bottom lane.
That was an unfortunate Omni Slash. He just jumped onto 3 heroes in a creep wave and ends up spending the whole time hitting the creep wave. I mean, that's the Burrow Strike into Arrow setup. It's 3 points in Burrow Strike, 3 points in Arrow. That is, I mean, that's a guaranteed like 5 seconds of stun. So much magic damage as well. That Vengeful Spirit never stood a chance. 10-minute runes are coming.
One here.
Again, if they Burrow Strike this, he's just going to go for the Blade Fury.
Toxus could be dead here.
Yes, he just massed a Magnus as well. What? Sir?
What? Your armor.
The arrow actually connected on the KXY as well, so he got stunned inside there. They do go ahead and haunt bottom lane. Spectre will get hit by that magic missile, and he astral steps himself away, but that was the most optimistic run for a bounty rune I think I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, they're happy to take that trade. They get the safe lane carry. You know, that Mask of Madness popping as they leave. You know, all he was doing there was reducing his armor by 8. While he was stunned up, but...
Yeah, I mean, that Mask of Madness was still on him for like a good 3 seconds after he came out of Blade Fury.
Yeah. Pops the illusion rune right now on Dragonite, but this makes no sense to me, man. He pops his Elder Dragon form, and instead of, you know, like going in and getting some auto attacks off on the tower, Arrow misses the catapult, unfortunately. But yeah, instead of getting some auto attacks off on the tower, especially with like the illusion runes to tank it up for you, you go into the jungle for some reason. I really don't think that Ordiar is playing Dragonite correctly here.
Yeah, this is really really interesting. He's gonna go for the armlet, it looks like. Top lane. They're looking for Costa Bile, a nice rotation from Michael. This would be a good use of the first Laguna Blade, but fortunately they do not make that connection. Hawk is just going to try and push, maybe trade tier 1 towers here as bottom was already snatched. Bottom lane, there's the Burrow Strike arrow. They catch the Void Spirit. The Magic Burst is there from Flea. They get themselves another kill. This is going to be a really decent timed Blink Dagger for the Sand King.
And, you know, it's just beautiful setups with these arrows, and this is why he's opted to max this one out. Just the extra stun duration makes it way easier to set up these kills. So a lot of people, they just go the 1 point in the Sacred Arrow, and then they start maxing out the Starstorm. But, you know, you go from 3.5 second to 5 second maximum stun duration.
And with a Sand King, like we've talked about, or the Enchantress, like the DK stun, all great setups. So, no reason not to max the arrow this game. If you find a regen rune, that's pretty value. Your Dragonite just has no mana.
Regeneration.
Yeah.
I mean, mid-tier 1 tower is the next big objective for Brazil, right? They really need to get this, I think.
I really don't understand how they don't have it already, but we'll see. Mirana ulted right now. They're not going to find anybody. No one is sitting in the mid lane. They're probably just assuming that everyone's trying to play around what this Dragonite wants to do, but they're doing the opposite.
Yeah, Spectre just casual blade mail farming a stacked ancient camp during this time. He gets dropped fairly low, but we'll be able to just regen that off pretty easy. Mid lane, they don't connect onto anything with this smoke. They do get a good ward here placed on the high ground, but that's about it. Arrow mid lane, almost tanked by Pepita. Instead, range creep jumps in front of the boy. Alright, they're just gonna go for the mid-tier 1 tower. This is smart from Infamous. If they get a tier 1 tower mid before them, I'm gonna be blown away. Top lane, they're looking for Spectre. It's just KXY with the burst damage. 1 astral step left, but not gonna be able to dive underneath the tower. But there's gonna be the Burrow Strike. The arrow connects onto the Venge as she tries to save the Juggernaut. It just doesn't matter. It's a double kill. King RD's burst damage. Just way too much with that Blink Dagger.
The Light Strike Array stops the Dragon Tail from coming
Burrow
out.
Strike, oh my gosh, KXY tanks it. The arrow finds Pepita as well. You're kidding me. 4 heroes now left here in the mid lane for Brazil, and they can finally focus down this mid tower. King RD just isn't done. He's just gonna keep chasing the Laguna Blades out with the Dragon Tail. They finally finish him off with that Dragon Slave. Pepita falling really low. The melee ranged arrow ends up hitting Lina instead. Flea's like, all right, well, I'll settle for that. Dragon Knight swapped underneath the tier 2 tower. Now gonna suffer as he just falls to that Blade Fury. They just extend too far and they still don't get the tower.
Yeah, you keep on going on this Tidehunter. I mean, he's got Poor Man Shield, multiple sources of damage block, do not stack. All right, fair enough. But he's got the Poor Man Shield. He's super hard to bring down, right? What is he? Does it stack? Why is he holding on to this?
Which one? The Poor Man Shield definitely does not stack. Not at all.
Mm-hmm. I need to watch that. I'm pretty sure it doesn't stack. I tested this in the lobby a little while ago and they changed like melee damage block and whatnot around. But for some reason, he's still holding on to it. Anyways, yeah, exactly like you said, they just dove too far forward there. Tidehunter is not the hero that you want to be diving on, like especially once he's already used his Ravage. He's way too hard to bring down with Kraken Shell. Every time you lock him down with these stunts, he's just going to keep going with Kraken Shell. He has huge HP regen right now as well. Underneath that tier 2 tower, he had like 20 HP regen a second and like total of like 20 armor.
Yeah,
it was
A
insane.
lot of armor. Yeah, that was a pretty big dive. It's one of those things where Brazil just keeps kind of overextending or not really taking these objectives that they really, I honestly think they need to be taking. Bottom lane, they try to make a gank onto KXY, don't end up connecting. Flea's just going to sit here and try and farm the lane. Spectre, top net worth though. It's been a lot of spaces. Costa Bila has really just been jungling for the last 5 minutes. They're pinging out mid tower. 40 R's like, guys, I do not want to lose this. Please help. But his team is busy bottom lane chasing after KXY on the Void Spirit.
Mid lane, DK stuns the catapult to try and deal with this.
Tidehunter takes no damage from a tower. He does not care, so.
Yeah. I'm crazy. I thought I saw minus 72, but creeps don't do 72 damage.
No.
Throws up the arrow, doesn't connect with anything, so KXY going to be able to get out of there. Right now, no one is doing anything. It feels so awkward. And, you know, the one time they were going to that super important objective on Team Brazil, that mid tower, like, he just ended up diving the Tidehunter. They definitely could have grabbed it there if they didn't go forward.
Yeah, I mean, DK gets swapped all the way to the tier 2 with Dragon Form up. Plenty of time left on it as well. King RD, Burrow Strike, he does catch Venge just before he gets that TP off. Great dodge on the Magic Missile as well. This would be a quick pick off. Well, Flea dies on the top half of the lane, I'm assuming just to an Omni Slash. Yeah. No way out of that one. He has just been trying to defend this tier 2 as Jug has been applying a lot of pressure to it as well. They trade the supports. But again, they're not getting any objective on Brazil. The lane's still hitting their tier 2 top. They haven't been able to push out the mid lane. Spectre is your only real hope, as she's just been farming, right?
Yeah. Fox has just finished his Battle Fury. So he's got Massive Bandit's Battle Fury now, and he finds one item pretty quickly here. He managed to get himself a Van Brace. He's pretty happy about that one, right at the 17-minute mark.
Very good item. Attack speed is so value on Jug.
Yeah, Dragon Knight finds the Imp Claw, but he's going to hold on to the Faded Brooch just for that extra movement speed to be able to spam more spells.
Yeah, you can give the Imp Claw to Spectre, right? Pretty happy with that. She'll take it eventually, I'm sure. Dude, this mid lane tower has been slowly pushed in constantly by Pepita on this Tidehunter because they don't really have an answer for him right now.
No, I mean, the only real answers to him are like Chronosphere, Duel, Doom, and you know, none of those abilities exist in this game, unfortunately. You have these hard stuns in the form of Dragon Tail, Burrow Strike.
There it goes. They're just going to let it go. Mid lane tower, Pepita finally gets it almost 18 minutes into the game, and they're going to keep on walking down mid. They will go ahead and see the Vengeful Spear here on the high ground being scouted out by the Enchantress. King RD is here. Fleet with the follow-up arrow. Should be able to connect, but he hits Pepita. He tanks it for him, and now Sand King goes down instead. The Haunt is in. Nice Dragon Tail on the backside, but Lina saved by the Yules for the time being. Pepita is here, still has Ravage available. The question is, does he even want to use it? Go ahead, pop it up right now. They're chased on the Dragon Knight. Pakas is here, has that Blade Fury backside. Enchantress falls to KXY's first damage. If you lose the Dragon Knight here, this is a huge disaster for Brazil. They chase him underneath the tier 2 tower. Armlet toggling, really well done here by 40R, but Juggernaut in pursuit as well as Pepita. KXY Astral steps forward, has that to simulate. Double kill for that Vengeful, Void Spirit and now Tidehunter. He's pretty tanky. He doesn't really care too much about Spectre Mirana here. In comes Jug. He has Omni Slash in 3 seconds. He pops the Manta. He's going to go for it. Omni Slash is out. The Blade Mail not going to do a whole lot. They take down the Spectre as well. In comes King RD. Does have that Burrow Strike, the Epicenter, but it whiffs. He tried to guess on the Juggernaut. It doesn't find anything. Flea now on the run. No leap charges left. Ash will step in, a nice Yules into that Aether Remnant. Once again, it's just one after another for Infamous in your tier 2 mid. Now under siege.
You know, that missing that Burrow Strike and Epicenter at the end there felt pretty awful, but you know, just taking the fight in such an awkward way. You managed to separate Flea from everybody. Spectre had trouble getting on top of anyone as well, and of course the Omni Slash getting off on Spectre by himself. The Blade Mail is just going to be completely useless there. It can't return the damage if Juggernaut's invulnerable.
Yeah.
Tier 2 tower now gone, and Tier 1 still up for Team Infamous.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. They actually scan out King RD here as he's positioned to go for the runes. KXY just Astral steps in. A good Burrow Strike arrow will hit. And they actually finish off the Void Spirit, though, as Pepita is here with Michael. He gets low, but it's not going to be enough, and now they're going to turn their attention on over to Flea. Laguna Blade's going to find him. KXY assimilates himself to safety. Nice Burrow Strike, however, from King RD. They finish him off with that impetus, and now Michael on the run. Going to go for the TP out. He's going to be fine.
Yep. Burrow Strike on cooldown, so the two of them get out of there. Almost Yule Scepter done on King RD, so, you know, next time you might be able to catch them. Now, finally picking up the last tier 2 neutral item on Juggernaut, the Pupil's Gift. Might want to take that on Dragon Knight now. The extra agility and int might be nice. I don't think that you need all this movement speed.
Yeah, the Fated Brooch feels a little bit weak at this point. I mean, you could honestly take Vamp Fangs, to be honest.
I might want to give the Fated Brooch to Sand King. I feel like higher mana cap for him, the extra movement speed is going to do wonders, because he's the one, you know, he's split pushing the map. He's farming very dangerous areas when they're not taking team fights.
Yeah. So King RD, we've seen a lot this tournament. Other Sand Kings just rush the Aghanim Scepter, right? And instead this game we see King RD pick up the Blink Dagger. I feel like this game, it was really impactful right after he got it, but it's kind of fallen off at this point. Roshan is just dead. Infamous just sneaked that one. You pick up the Aghanim Scepter on the Juggernaut, which Swift Slash is one heck of an ability.
Yep. He tries it out on the creep running in from the Enchantress. He's going to try it out again. Wait, no, it's still on cooldown. But he's dead very fast anyways. All that minus armor, he blows up in 1 second flat. And I think they're just ready to push high ground here. Why not? Fortify still on cooldown for another 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I don't think they can stop them.
Well, they can now because your Juggernaut's bottom lane. This is the good old. This is the same thing we saw yesterday with like the who was it? Team Zero, like Envy going to TP and Brax is like, don't you do it? Don't you dare.
Cancels it immediately afterwards. All right, fine. Well, I suppose we'll end the game. That's a classic Envy Dota. You're in the game until he's done with you. It is a little bit harder to push into this. I mean, they have Dragon Knight to worry about. They did have like the Sand King with the Epicenter ready. I think they need a bit more HP on Juggernaut before they're ready to take these fights.
And he's going Silver Edge, which I think is perfect. It gives you HP, it gives you survivability. Juggernaut, one of the better cores with the Silver Edge because he's pretty survivable even if he gets caught. Right? You have Blade Fury, or you have you have Blade Fury, you have Swift Slash, you have all these different ways to get around. Oh, he just says screw it. He queues up Divine Rapier. Okay. I can't imagine that's the correct item.
No, how are they gonna kill him? If you're so good at the game, you're not worried about dying. It's definitely the item.
That's true. You aren't worried about dying. That's definitely the item. But I have to say, a 2,000 HP Juggernaut definitely dies to like an Epi Burrow and an arrow.
Yep. That's fair.
And there's the Burrow Strike. The arrow's going to come through, but just a little bit too late. Missed time. KXY responds with a nice Yules into that Remnant. Sand King's dead. And that's just a Swift Slash. You still have the Omni. Costa Bile jumps in on the backside with that Haunt. Now has to be careful. There's the real Omni Slash and the Epicenter, or I'm sorry, the Rabbit, but he gets saved by a Glimmer Cape for a moment. Ends up falling anyway. Juggernaut on just a fraction of health. That's going to be his first one. Michael hiding on the side with that Shadow Amulet. They don't see him. He's like, where is this guy? Pops his BKB. They're looking for Pepita now. A nice swap to safety. Going to save Michael, but a nice Dragon Tail onto the Vengeful Spirit again. These Glimmer Capes are just being way too much value here. They finally drop a Sentry. Dragon Knight will fall. 3 cores dead on the side of Brazil. No buybacks. This might just be the end of the game here. Swift Slash on the backside. Goodbye, Enchantress.
I'm not sure what they can do to defend here. I mean, they're going to be able to at least grab this barrack. Respawn times are pretty low. That is the one saving grace that Brazil has, but that wasn't even a Glimmer Cape the Vengeful Spirit has. This is an Econ Glimmer Cape. We got a Shadow Amulet he's making plays with.
So he Shadow Amuleted the Lina on the side? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I thought it was on the Lina. All right, wow. Yeah, so you can actually go 2 lanes here. Blink Epi doing some serious damage, but the arrow doesn't connect onto anyone. The LSA, they're gonna turn it. The healing ward kept them super healthy. Now the Blade Fury on Alpaca is just gonna go for the TP. He should be safe. Pepita, not as lucky.
Yep, he's difficult to bring down right now, but they will get him eventually. Flea finish him off with that second fall of the Starstorm, and they continue to chase KXY. Blink Dagger's not up for another 10 seconds though, but Flea, he wants blood. He doesn't stop.
He just throws the arrow. Void Spirit should be safe here. Dissimulate. Finds King RD. Yules, however, into that Remnant. A second Astral Step to the backside of that Tier 1 tower. Which, if this wasn't here, maybe you could chase, but this tower is still alive 25 minutes into the game.
Yep. You need to take that Tier 1 tower, you know? It just gives the enemy so much more presence over the map. It allows them to take Roche fights, it allows them to access your part of the map. Easy defense point over here.
They're pinging him out. They know.
Yep.
They have Swift Slash, Omni in 17, and a haste on this Juggernaut. KXY comes in, the Yules. The Remnant will finally actually get BKB'd immediately, and Dragon Knight's just going to TP. No Basher. No Omni.
Remnant actually hit the creep there because his timing was off. He
Yeah.
should have shot at that angle there. I don't know why he didn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to get the Remnant off with the Ancient Camp, but instead...
Well, it's a what's it called? Vector targeting. You just turn it that way instead of towards the creep.
Yeah.
Structures are fortified.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, it's all good. Mid lane,
Oh,
tower, is it going to go
Cardi?
down to Cardi? No, 40 HP. They deny it.
Radiant's middle tower has been
Who would have guessed?
Question
That's
mark?
how the mid lane tower dies.
I don't know about that one. I think there was no way the enemies would have been able to push that one. I think you just keep it up so you can TP back in and take a team fight against the enemies as you take these last 2 sets of Raxes here.
for enemies.
Top lane, they're picking up Pepita. I don't know how you kill him, though. They got to find a better target. He's under the under Invis. Lina has an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. That is
No.
some pure damage, 700 nuke. You can throw into both Spectre or the Dragon Knight. King RD just hunting these guys on the backside with this Invis rune. They do have the Moonlight Shadow, which they are going to go ahead and pop right now. Juggernaut would be a fantastic kill if they can find him. The burst strike, it comes up short. You're kidding me. He does haunt in with that arrow, but there's going to be the Swift Slash. He just commits Omni instead, takes down the Marauder, and walks away. Oh boy. They are really struggling on Brazil right now.
King RD, yeah, really, that one fallen short and messed up. Last time as well, I feel like there's just a lack of communication. That's why Flea's arrow didn't land on the boxes at the start of that team fight.
They do catch him with the dust. They're jumping in. KXY, there's the Remnant. LSA Laguna. Oh boy, that is a quick kill. He buys back immediately into the game. Both committed from the Flea as well.
Yeah, but they don't need to commit. They can just wait for the spells to come off a cooldown. I mean, Omni Slash is still down for 100 seconds. Your buyback is going to be on cooldown for 8 minutes. You know, we don't need to rush this. Roshan could respawn in another minute and a half here. So
Yeah.
they back up on Infamous. Nice move by them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an economic win for them for sure. They did go back for the Silver Edge on Juggernaut, which I'm very happy. And now he queues up the Nullifier.
But he can get on top of the Spectre to get that Silver Edge proc off with that Swiss Slash as well. So it makes sense.
Mid lane, there's going to be the blink. Burrow Strike into the arrow. Does connect this time. They have the Dragon Tail follow-up, but a great swap from the Vengeful Spirit, and Pac is going to be able to drop that healing ward. KXY is out. They had a huge LSA into a massive Ravage as well. They turn it around. The Spectre goes down, and now Dragon Knight and Enchantress on the run. She protects herself with a Glimmer Cape, but that's GG. Brasil are out. They just disconnect. They're like, we're done, man. We thought we had a good kill here, and instead it turns into a 1-for-4.
Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing bait there by the Juggernaut. In fact, he turned around, so we did have time to spin after the Burrow Strike hit him before the arrow connected, but he opted to stay still so they would commit and take the team fight super hard. And, of course, amazing swap there by the Vengeful Spirit. They turned the fight with Ravage. Nice team play there by Infamous, and you know, it looked like at the start of the game, Flea was making some amazing plays. Looks like they had the advantage after the laning phase, but Infamous, they just started popping off as soon as it ended.
Yeah, this was, I mean, Infamous just had some really good team fights. Some big mistakes made at the triangle there from Team Brasil at their own triangle. Like, as soon as that fight kind of fell apart for them, it seemed very difficult for them to come back into this game. You see this net worth graph just kind of going way in Infamous's favor for the foreseeable future, and of course the Juggernaut, right? Once Juggernaut is given that amount of space, he just picks up so many great items that deal with your cores. Not a lot you can do. This is just a fantastic game from Infamous. Team Brasil just fall a little bit short. Maybe it was ping issues. I mean, Flea did say it was lagging a lot as well early on, but I don't know, man.
You know, just solid performance out of Infamous. They continue to impress me in this tournament. You know, every tournament that happens, I feel as if they get a little bit better. Last time they were doing decent. Right now in the group stage, you know, they are sitting at what, 3-1 at the moment. So this will put them 4-1 so far.
That's a great start, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only people doing better than them are Quincy Crew right now. Beast Coast, the team that is considered the top of South America, is sitting at 5-3. So amazing performance out of them. They continue to impress me.
All right. Well, that being said, they can try and impress us again in game number 2 here in just a short bit. So stay tuned with game number 2 between Team Brasil and Infamous.